And this lady is the one who's actually laying in the Animus. Sorry about the glitches. There's an autoplay feature in here that actually switches between the way that I can actually interact with the game itself between keyboard and mouse. Because this is featured on PC, and I bought it through the Ubisoft store. I do have the Ultimate Pack as well. So. What did she see? I'm not 100% sure what she's seeing. Ah, that's what she's looking at. So for a lot of people who don't know, that plays a heavy part in the Assassin's Creed story. You'll find it in Odyssey if you're looking for that spear and the information about that spear.
In a lecture at the University of Cambridge, Dr. Sirka told a worried audience that scientists have few answers for them.
Since the mass coronal ejection of 2012, the strength of the Earth's magnetic field has increased by a factor of 50,000. This has resulted in huge disturbances in radio and satellite communications, dangerous bands of radiation around the poles, and as we can all see from our window, an aurora borealis that never burns away. Unfortunately, we are stumped as to why this is happening, and if we cannot find an answer soon, it may change the way we live, the way we communicate, even the way we evolve forever.
Dr. Sirka went on to say,
"Bought you more electrolytes? Oh, you would
He went
improve
grocery
citrus
shopping.
flavor."
Thanks, Sean.
Alright, I think we might actually get an opportunity. Oh, no. What is that? Not exactly sure what's happening here. I
How do we
missed a
fix
lot of
this?
it.
How are you the key to everything?
Well, if you guys are trying to figure out exactly what's going on, there's a lot of history, and granted, I could probably go over it in total truth, but there's a lot going on here, and you can find out what it actually is through, what is it called? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So, in the end of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can actually see that there's some additional content in regards to what is bringing about these effects. Now, granted, I'm gonna show you something real quick. If you take a look in the sky, you'll see the aurora borealis, which is supposed to be in a different part of the world, not America, if you know what I mean. This is like over Colorado or something. You look at the grass, it looks all dead and burnt out, so you can tell that there's a travesty going on. Hey, what's going on, homicide victims? Yes, right. The aurora borealis is over Norway. But in this game, you can tell that, well, this doesn't really look much like Norway, if you ask me. The native trees are not like Norway's trees. And not only that, but you'll see in a sec. Right. Which means that there's unusual activity. I do have a little bit of knowledge in regards to astrological sciences. And some of this stuff, well, a lot of this stuff isn't normal, like the earthquake she just experienced. And then, of course, that satellite that just went down.
Another satellite. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looks like it's Colorado or something. I mean, you see the wind turbines in the distance. And granted, this part here is funny. I saw somebody else do this.
Layla, can't run away from this.
So you can't really leave. Sorry, doing silly stuff. Just doing silly stuff. But as you go explore the world that she's in right now, you'll hear some of the comments. I'm going to touch bases on every last thing here because we don't really get a chance to be outside Animus.
Someone's got mail. An invitation to a fair in Concord. Bring your best crop and you may win a prize.
Bring your best crop. So that means that she's probably in a rural area. I think, what? Is there an icon over here?
Probably bought this in a coffee shop somewhere in Concord.
It's a gnome. I wish they'd allow me to zoom in a bit. But there's not many controls when you play as Layla, so. And granted, I can't hop in the car and leave.
I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Not yet.
But there's plenty of other things to interact so that you can interact with, so that you can find out some of the details about what's going on in Layla's environment. Somehow, Eivor caused COVID-19, which ended the world. And you know what's funny? Actually, no, I'll show you in a sec.
I have bigger things on my mind.
Because COVID-19, there are actually some mentions about COVID-19 in this part of the game. I'm sorry, I'm talking over her comments. And you see these wires. This kind of looks like my backyard, really. All the wires and stuff.
You're a long way from home, Eivor.
Just a skeleton at the moment. Check out her hentai on her laptop. Yeah, right? And her deleted files. As everybody wants their history deleted.
Oof. I'd rather walk into town than use this.
And I just tried to walk, but she can't leave. Alright, I think, no, there's one other thing.
Some quality stuff here.
And like I was talking about civilizations and houses and stuff like that being built near water, that seems to be a theme with this. I think they got that idea generally from survival as a whole. And one other, I think she just sits down and enjoys the view. This is kind of how I found out about the Aurora Borealis being out of place. Last time there was an Aurora Borealis over America, it meant that there was solar flares and solar disruption due to the deviation of the magnetic force within the Earth, according to the layer of magma that spins around the center. But anyways, without all of that, if you want to find out exactly what that's about, watch a movie called The Core. It's an old movie from the 90s, but it's really good. It's kind of like a B-level movie or whatever, with a couple of lesser famous actors and actresses, but they do a very good job in that movie. I recommend it for any like science geeks. Oh, I thought I could have walked through the door. I'm stuck on a chair. Believe it or not, Layla actually has some assassin's moves too. I mean, you can't spend all that time in the Animus and not pick it up, you know?
Did you get my tea?
All right, here's a cutscene.
Mint tea is not actually tea, Bex. It's an infusion. It's really just dirty, minty water.
I don't care what you call it, Sean. Did you buy any?
Of course I did, love.
The movie is called The Core.
Hey, sorry about pulling you out. The generator was sputtering.
That's fine. I needed air.
How is the Animus data stream? Comfortable?
Felt pretty stable after a while.
Good. Just give me a sec and you can jump back in.
So there's been some worrying stuff. But yeah, check out The Core, definitely.
Another satellite came down. Did you see?
I did. One of Abstergo's.
That's good.
Well, most of North America just lost its GPS service, so depends what you mean by good, really.
Right. Even when we win, we lose.
Okay, we're all set. Whenever you're ready, you can jump back in.
Did you hear that? She said, even when we win, we lose. That's kind of like a theme to life, if you ask me. I mean, we always looking on the brighter side, but still, even when we win, we lose. Something replaces the next thing, you know?
You mind if I put some music on?
Go for it.
Cool.
Oh, crap. No. Wait, stop that. Because I forgot. I could be voted for that. Stop the music. It might be like copyrighted, and then next thing you know, I got a segment of my video that's been cut out. All right. I think I can read
Sean
this.
has been busy.
An audio fragment sent from unknown location, encrypted servers. Nothing was stolen or corrupted. Just quickly, you know what? Once again, I'm really not big on reading aloud. I need to practice, but still. It's here. This is going to be saved as a video for roughly about 6 days, I believe. So if you want to review it, you can. Just pause it. But I read quicker in my head than I do out loud. Oh, this is about fighting Eivor. How did these bones get here and why?
Hello, Layla.
Sean, what do you make of the grave out there?
Well, it overturns a few hundred years of scholarship about the first Europeans to set foot in North America. Apart from that, it's just a bunch of muddy bones, isn't it?
Yes.
Can we talk about this thing on my neck for a second?
Ah, the mood stabilizer. Yes.
It's not harmful, is it? I mean, I feel good, but I want to make sure there's no side effects.
There shouldn't be. It's only blocking outside signals, a passive effect. So the staff doesn't, you know, mess with you.
Sean, what happened last year, I had no control over that. I tried to resist.
I understand. And your old team, maybe they don't. But we've seen that sort of thing before. Still, if you want to work with us and get to the bottom of why the world is about to end for the second time in 8 years, then you wear that thing until we say otherwise. William's orders.
I know. It's not a problem.
It's just a few more weeks, yeah? Just until we figure this out.
You're right. I know you're right.
Yeah, so I did type the title of the movie in the chat, but I feel like that will be something that can be later referenced if somebody wants to see it or whatever. Or if I wasn't speaking clearly enough, and it also reduces the amount of talking through the game itself.
You gonna put this in the fridge, Sean?
Of course. In half a minute.
Remember, tomatoes go on the counter, not the fridge. Please enjoy your stay. Remember, all the garbage must be packed out, and please water the plants once a day. Yeah, I won't remember that.
All right, I won't doubt the hearing. I'm new to this chat thing.
Sean, don't forget to water the plants while I'm under, okay?
I'll add it to the calendar.
I don't normally
on my
talk to people in my chat when I play games, so I'm not sure. But I kept my mic like turned down and everything so that I could steer clear of it. Wait, there's another thing.
I went through hell to bring you here. It had better be worth it.
And once again, this staff is related to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. As a matter of fact, remember that hologram homicide victims? Yeah, that.
That's quite nice. Soothing.
I bet we ran into a castle like that too when we play. All right, let's check her computer, look for some porn. All right, go straight to the trash. What does she not have? Colleague of Victoria's Abstergo, excuse me. Something said, they said something about Abstergo's satellite crashing. People losing GPS all over the place. Oh, okay. The old team. File corrupted. Anyways, there's also messages in here as well. If you already have the game, you can go back and read them, but there's interesting messages. Like this one here. And all of this is related to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but there's also a voice message somewhere in here. I think it was in my media files. These are messages about the disappearance, her talking to her brother and stuff like that as well. So if you want some additional information about what's going on and what those little conversations were about, and even some background information about what brought her here, you'll gain a little bit of understanding through these emails as well. All right, anyways, there's an audio file that was really interesting too. We'll take a listen to it real quick.
No, come on, Sean. Turn that thing off.
Oh, hold on. I like what you said there. I want to get this for posterity. Say it again, nice and loud.
Seriously?
Sure, come on. If nothing else, it'll
No,
give
she's
me
not
leverage
really
with your old
professional.
man.
Ah, that's your angle. Nice. What I said was, I wish I hadn't been born into the Assassins. I wish I had chosen this life. Is that good enough?
Sure, but why is that?
Because choice is the central idea of our creed. It underpins everything, right? It's about free will. It's about seeing the evidence before you and saying, yes, this is what I want.
Right.
Or, no, this
That'd be
isn't for
my
me.
response.
But when you're
if I
born
wasn't
into a group
expecting
like
an email.
this, or any other, like I was, you get mixed signals. You get told over and over again, this is what we believe. These are the rules. This is reality. No deviation. And if you question it, oh, they look at you like you killed a puppy. That's hardly free will. It's a weird irony when free will is your central belief, but nobody wants you to believe otherwise. I don't know how to say it exactly, but I always thought there was something self-destructive about our creed. If free will is the most important moral guidepost we have, we should be free to ignore it. To choose submission, for example. You know what I mean? Like, we should be free to side with the Templars. If it's really my choice, I could do that.
Right. It's almost self-refuting. A democracy could democratically elect a dictator or choose to get rid of democracy altogether. Within our creed is the seed of its own destruction. That's what makes it powerful, I think. And fragile.
Right. The more freedom you have, the more risky it is, you know? Anyway, my dad has mellowed over the years, but he was strict when we lived on the farm. He ran a tight ship. I never got the impression that I was free to choose my path forward. Our creed, our tenets, they were drilled into my head. By the time I was a teenager, I was following these rules out of a sense of duty. This was just what we did.
That happens to a lot of organizations over time. A stagnation sets in, you know? A fundamentalism.
Yeah. Following the rules becomes more important than achieving whatever goal you set out for yourself. And people start to lose sight of the reason the rules exist.
That's called deontology, or a form of it. Following a rule for its own sake and not for the consequences it has.
Yeah, but that feels backwards, doesn't it?
Well, I think so. Following a rule is the easy part. Praying, taking a sip of wine, munching on a wafer. Rituals that give comfort.
But that's just going through the motions. It makes people feel like they're doing something. When the hard work is, well, actually getting off your ass and doing something productive. I think people just want boundaries. Tight boundaries. They want to see the four walls that pen them in.
I don't disagree.
Anything outside that, anything that makes life more complex, that's scary. That's why I envy you. You chose this life. You went through that process and you decided, yes, I believe in this.
Sure. It didn't stop me from being an insufferable know-it-all as a teenager, but...
All right, enough of that. But my point in playing that was just in reference to a lot of things. Even this gameplay isn't traditional like the other Assassin's Creeds. You don't see the traditional following with the Assassins, but you do see the return of the Assassins. You saw the deviation between the production group and the developers as well. Wait, what's this door on the floor? But with that, it also talks about the option and choice in this game itself. You know what I mean? You see it all through the game. It's just a running theme. And it's also a theme that we deal with every day in society. So.
Be nice to sleep in a real bed when this is over.
All right, let's get back in the Animus and get back to the action. I got to do my my first raid. In England, at least. Actually, is that the next thing?
All right, time to go. Norway to England takes about a week by long ship, so I'll scrub ahead.
And I think she's also struggling with that too, because she's facing what's like her destiny now versus a possibility of deviation.
Layla, you okay?
Sorry. Can you play the message again?
We have the transcript. If you're looking for something, I can go
No,
and...
I want to hear it.
Okay.
I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just... that message led us here. To this place. To a Norse grave in North America.
That
so
message is
those
also
bones
in
out
the
there are the
laptop.
only lead we have. Our only chance at fixing this planet before it's too late.
Here it is.
I lived, I died, and now I sleep. And in my sleep I dream. And in my dreams I see an end to the doom that will grip the earth once again. Find the wolf-kissed. Find the mad one. Find me. And save us all from another death.
Unsettling, that is.
He said another.
That pulse in the message. Are you sure it's just coordinates? Nothing else?
Nothing I can find.
Okay, I'm ready.
Chrome
Here we
Eternal.
go.
And this is the Animus. It's interesting to see how the Animus changed over so many times over the Assassin's Creed games. Also, the guy we were listening to in the email and the voice recording was actually Desmond, who was the first one in the Animus that we know of from the first Assassin's Creed game.